All right, good afternoon and welcome back to Retirement Trades, everybody. It has been probably just about a year since I've made a trade in this account, and I just want to show you real quick. Let's see here. You can see the balance of this account is 93.75.97, and I am going to scroll back into the last video I did, and you should be able to see that same exact balance here because I have not touched this account in about a year. And today is June 8th of 2026, and it is the first kind of official real trading day with the new PDT rules. No longer required to have $25,000 account to trade more than 3 times in the week round trip. So congratulations, everybody. We survived that ordeal. Now, where have I been? What have I been doing? Well, I've been building a new plan because what I was doing in the small account wasn't working. And let's just say I went way down the rabbit hole. You may have seen I released a couple of videos prior to this about my new system. I have turned those videos to private because over the last, let's say, month, I have completely revamped the entire system. I had AI helping me with some database work, and there was some bad information in there, so I needed to go through and nitpick the details, get the data correct, and then kind of massage the whole system back into place. So I'll give you a quick peek as to what we got going on there. And what we're looking at here is the RT signals. Okay, so I got a pulse barometer, which will show you the market sentiment. And I can tell you this is good. This is, in my opinion, is better than the fear and greed index. So, but basically, every night at close, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it does the calculations and comes up with the pulse barometer index, and that tells us where the market mood is. Gives you a quick description here as to what's going on, a little bit of instruction, but mainly this whole system is based upon your account size. You go into account settings, you can put in your account size. I put 93.75 in there. I generally have a higher risk tolerance, so I set my risk tolerance to high. You can go medium, low, and you can notice over here the amounts are going to change based upon your risk tolerance that you set. And basically, this is telling me with my account size right now in market conditions, I really should adjust my stops a little about 20% larger than normal. Max equity for my trades is going to be 6 to 8% of my total account value. Max available for my options is going to be 3 to 4% of my total account value. Gives me dollars calculated based on the numbers up there. And the total deployed that I want during these market conditions right now is going to be 72 to 91%. So pulse history, give you a quick idea here. This is 30 days pulse history. The gray line's the S&P. The lines in the background here are the ranges for the pulse barometer. And the yellow line, gold line, is the pulse barometer itself. On longer time frames, there's actually a 10-day moving average popped in there too. So a whole lot of constructive stuff. I've got a 42-page handbook, playbook that I've built along this system here that you can check out completely for free. You can go to retirementtrades.com and get the link and see what I got going on here. It's a lot, let me tell you. This has been a long time in the works. Continue across the header here. Let's look at the screener. Okay, so every night, about an hour after it calculates the pulse, it starts compiling these screener options, and basically it pulls forward based on the setups we're mainly looking for: mean reversion, trend swing following, trend following, put selling, and this is cool. I've got my own calculations, so This is a 14 score. It's got a technical 7 score, a fundamental 7 score. You can see they all vary throughout. This is going to default to the $5,000 to $25,000 portfolio size based on the account settings here real quick. And basically, if I wanted to, I can search by technical score, fundamental score, or both combined. I can set the minimum score that I want to appear. And if I want to get real real technical, I can get into specific sectors, but more on that later. You'll notice if I pick different portfolio size, which you won't have to do, it's going to be based off of the amount in your account. But for the most part, if you want to look at other options, you can see the bigger account, small account, I've got 88 options here. Big account, I've got 300 options here. So that gets, again, it's all based on your account size and what you can safely afford to risk. So it'll eliminate those temptations, let's say. So basically, let's say I like this. So I like Bradstone Net Lease. I pop it open. I get a little better look. Shows me where the current price is on the range between 1 to 2 standard deviations away from the VWAP. It will automatically mark qualifying signals. You can get down into fundamentals. It tells me that. It gives me some option scenarios as to what can be done here. I can do a couple things from here. I can pop open trading view. I can look in here, and you're going to see this also come up with a special Pine script that I have written. Gives me my signals here. So there's a S3 setup, S2 setups. If I scroll out, there's S1 setups. So that's really cool too. And I can also open this ticker into a workbook. This workbook is going to basically, it shows me what the options are again here for potential investments. You can enter, your prices up here. It does all your calculations for you. There's a checklist down here. I want you to watch this checklist and see if I can get it up to where I can. It's going to be off the screen here, but you can look here real quick. Screenshot that, memorize it real quick. I come up here, let's say I decide I want to do a full call spread. Well, it's going to have different criteria down here for a checklist. If I want to do a short-term call, that's going to have different criteria down here. So, and then as you're going through, let's say, okay, we want to confirm that the volume confirms momentum. Score is going to change. Each thing, IV, it's got a high enough IV. Okay, DTE of the option we're picking is in the right. And obviously, Pulse 67 is not going to be proper, say, because Pulse is 60. But let's say that one held true. You click that, and then you're up to a D+, struggling, strike. Oh, hey, that's a big one. Strikes out of the money at negative 30 delta, a little bit above the price size. Now we got a B rating. But anyways, I've got my own proprietary scoring for everything. It's pretty cool. So anyways, on and on. Let's move along here. We can look at sectors. Okay, so this is the sector rotation chart. So this is 4 weeks. I'm looking at a weekly basis. So we got 4 different moves going on here. So let's look at this one here. What's the red one here is going to be XLB, which is materials. Over the last 4 weeks, XLB has risen and then falling. Let's see, XLC here. Okay, we're talking, let's see, energy. We know energy's been up lately, financials, industrials, and I'm going to back off. You can highlight anyone specifically. You can go XLB. Let's say we want to look at, I don't know, let's look at XLE energy real quick. And click these on. Click individually. You can click them on, click them off, look at the total group, 13 weeks, okay? Now you can get a picture as to what's going on. I've got these color coded, so the ones that start to fish to the top here that are orange and red, that is more of a risk on, risk off environment. So if I want to look at risk on stocks or risk on sectors only, I can see who's winning in that side. I can see who's winning in risk off. I can look at all. If I want to overlay the SPY, see what the SPY is doing as each individual sector is rising and falling, I can do that. If I want to filter the pulse barometer over all of them, I can do that. It's cool. It's fun. I worked really hard on this, so I hope people can enjoy it. All right, let's move along here to the expected. This is just quickly, just everything's all about confluence. I'm looking for market sentiment. So for the most part, we're looking at the SPY. Okay, so SPY, my dailies are going to be just about centered because it's a Monday afternoon and the market hasn't done too much yet this week. But you can see in the quarterly, we're way off the charts on both here. But we're a little low when it comes to the monthly, but we're a little high compared to the weekly. So it's just it lets you know at a glance where the market is. And if you're thinking about mean reversion, these just help. None of these are going to change your world in any way, shape, or form. Each one is just a little more information. You stack as much information up as you can, and you come to your own conclusions. There's a link here to the Discord, to the YouTube, all that good stuff. But anyways, let's go back to what I was talking about when I got here today. Okay, we were looking at Tasty Trade, which is, again, I mentioned already once, the account is still where it was the last time you guys watched me trade this account. And now with the new PDT rules, that's not really going to apply to me because I do not plan on day trading this account, but probably a lot of swing trading, and there will be short-term profit taking. So it's nice to know that that won't have me locked out. So I'm trying to learn to trade small accounts smarter, and hopefully we can all do that together. So in my looking through the screener earlier, I had kind of come across basically zoomies. Okay, so and I quickly popped open the chart here into trading view, and zoomies is doing pretty good. It had a pretty good uptrend here, whatever. You can see they just had a negative earnings, and basically they had this negative earnings right before the Friday fallout crash, whatever you want to call it. It just wasn't pleasant. None of us enjoyed last Friday. But anyways, so on a bad earnings day, with the market absolutely losing its mind, it fell way down. And that triggered an S1 and then triggered a second S1 again today. So this kind of caught my attention. And looking out overall, we're going back, a full year here now. Zoomies has gone down low over the years, probably around 1150 or so. Even on the big crash day with the failed earnings, it only came down to 15 and pretty much instantly started to rebound right back up. And same for today. Didn't quite, didn't gap up or nothing. It just opened at yesterday's close or Friday's close and went up, settled back down. The whole market kind of did that today. But anyways, I was looking this as a potential trade. So I went back into RT signals and I opened up zoomies in the workbook. And here's where we're at. Okay, so started to figure out what I wanted to do. I thought about doing a cash secured put, but that requires much too much market requirements. Let's say I want to do a $15 cash secured put, means I got to have $1,500, and that, I have the money, of course, but that would take up too big of a proportion of my overall account size, and it would deviate from the rules I've set for myself and within this system, so I'm not going to do it. But what I'm going to look at here is a bull put spread. So we're going to sell a put right around or just below the current price, and then we are going to buy a second put farther below that for protection. So that limits our risk. And over here in Tasty Trade, I believe I already had this popped open. And yeah, I've got this trade bill right here. So selling a 1750 put, current price is just about 1850, just about $1 above us, and buying protection down here at 15. And if we go back to looking at the chart here, we can see, it barely hit 15 on that real big crash recently, and they came right back with a vengeance. So, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm not going to allow myself to lose much money on this if at all possible. So let's go back and look at the trade. So we are looking at selling the 1750, buying the 15. We're looking at next month's regular, so that is going to be about 39 days out, something like that. And the mid price on that's going to be a 52-cent credit. So let's go back to the worksheet, and you can see I got that added in here, selling 1750, buying 15. It's only about a $2.50 spread width. I'm going to have to update that so that reads with the decimal. A 52-cent credit. So my max profit is $52. My max loss is $198. My break-even price is $16.98. That's substantially below where we are right now. And the max options that it's going to require is 3% of my portfolio. And let's go down farther here. And it gives me suggested targets for exit. So conservative exit would be to make $26, which is 50% of the max profit. If I want to get aggressive on it, let's say it starts to take off and move upwards, I might be able to hang on till about 80%. Do I want to ride it to the end? Well, of course I do, but I probably won't. I'm setting rules for myself. I'm going to, you know, just try and take a reasonable profit and then move on to the next trade. So, because I have far too many times let something run and had it reverse, right before the next earnings date, and you wasted a lot of time and you lost some money possibly. So, and this propagates all on its own here. Okay, so let's just say if I was if I did look at this with, let's say, getting the 1250 strike price here, but that put it outside of my requirements. So when I scrolled down, there was a 0 here, and it basically told me, no, don't do this trade. It's outside your rules, and you got to follow the rules. So I'm trying to become a much more disciplined trader on this small account. So let's go down a little bit farther here, and you can see, okay, yes, price is comfortably above the short put price. Yeah, we're $1 above that. That's good. Short put strike at or below the 2 standard deviations for, no, not exactly. Well, I mean, it's close to the 2, but this was automatically defaulted checked by the system. So it's within the system's acceptable range, and therefore it is in mine. IV rank is elevated. Let's go back over here. IV rank is 31.6. I'd really like to see that a little bit higher. So I did not check that, but you're not always going to check all the boxes, but you got to be honest in this section. You cannot, lying to yourself's only going to get you in trouble. Okay, break even is well below the current price. Okay, what did we say the break even was? $16.98. Yeah, that's $1.50 below where we are right now. Pulse 6061. Greater than or equal to 61. Again, there's a little bit of wiggle room here. Where these zones break does not flip a switch. You need to have a little bit of an allowance, and that was default automatically there. So considering the checklist for the bull pit spread, I've answered it as honestly as I can. It gives me an 80% or a B rating on my trade. So I think this is good. If I want to, guess what? I can save this as a draft, and it's going to save this in my system on my computer. Just so you guys, just so you know, any of the information you enter up here is not saved anywhere on the servers or anything. This is all browser based. It's stuff that it's going to be remembered on your system and your system only. So there's no security risks there. And you can put whatever you want in here. You can put $6 million. You can put $50. There's nothing that's, you can experiment with it. So it's not tied to any accounts. All right, so here we are. Now my dollars at risk are basically $198 at risk, and that is only 2.11% of my portfolio. Okay, and very reasonable, one contract. So anyways, let's see if we can't get that trade to go through here. You guys are going to get to see me make my first trade in this account in a very long time. So mid price, 52 cents, review and send. Oops, no, never mind. It says Zoomies is currently set to closing only. Only closing trades may be submitted. I'm not sure I've ever seen this before. That is interesting. Shall we hit it anyways? It's probably going to tell me no, right? Error code 422 message Zoomies is currently set to closing trades only. All right, let's see if we can't let's Google that. Okay, Tasty Trade says that ZUNZ is set to only closing trades. Let's see what the Google has to say about that. Okay, that's kind of what you think. Blocked from opening new positions. I wonder why that is. Okay, why does that happen? Low volume and liquidity, account-specific violations. If my individual account is restricted, it may be set to closing only due to account trading status, free ride violation penalty. I may have to look into this. I don't know what the free ride violation is. They may flag me because I haven't traded in the account for a year. So, so let's see. We will open up another Google window. You and I will learn together here. Uses funds from an AHC deposit place. AHC subsequently returned. Nope, nothing's been. Nope. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm a little bit upset with that. Let's go back over here. I'm going to do something just because. Let's what can we do that will test my account to see what's happening here? Because I've not gotten any emails or alerts from Tasty Trade at all. So let's look at something different that will be simple solution. Let's just Zoomies table positions. I do not know how to buy or sell equities in here. I've only used it as options trading. So let's see. Well, let's go back to our how to buy equities in Tasty Trade. All right, find the asset, type the ticker symbol, initiate trade ticket. Click the ask price. Hey, that sounds simple enough. All right, so look at that. Okay, so nope, they're talking. This is stock. There we go. Long. Go. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we want to buy. What will my equities allow me? Let's look over here real quick. Back to workbook. You can just click on equity here, and it's going to tell me Equities, 8 to 10% of my portfolio is the most I want to put in any one trade. And on larger portfolios, these numbers are going to be smaller, but smaller portfolios, you really can't stick into just a couple percent because you just wouldn't be able to. All right, so 8 to 10%. So what do we got here real quick? Math, 9375 times 0.08. Let's just say 750. So what can we get for 750? So let's see, divided by 19. Well, we can buy roughly 40 shares of Zoomies. Now, this is not a thought out trade. This is an experiment, guys. So let's see what we can do here. Will it let me do 40? Yes. Okay. 40 shares at the mid price. And look at that. Okay. So there's not restrictions on my account. That was just a options restricted for Zoomies, which is good news. And well, I actually hold Zoomies stock now. So go to positions and let's see. Why is it not showing here? Because it did show me filled. Trade activity. All right. I have not been in here messing around with Tasty Trade in quite a while, guys. So, what are we looking at? Our stocks, options, working, closed, fixed income, stock. Oh, Zoomies. I'm sorry. It was right there on the top. For some reason, it looks like it was part of the header panel and it didn't look like an individual ticker. So, okay, I own 40 shares of Zoomies just because, and I'm going to let that go just for a couple of days. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to look into this a little bit more, but that was a quick, basically, touch on what's going on over here with me. If you guys are interested, check this out. There's a little information here or whatever. Get in here, check it all out, download the playbook, and join me in the Discord. That site is kind of dead right now because it's been ignored for a year. There's still about 30 members in there. Really trying to get some conversations going. If you guys want to do that, help me out, would be greatly appreciated. Let's fire this thing up. Let's get back to work and let's learn how to trade small accounts together. And thank you all for watching. I will catch you in the next one.